So what a day for space investors. I mean, not only we were going through this earnings, which again brought a surprise, but the day after was more than a huge proof that Virgin Galactic is a company that people want to own. I mean, if you're looking into the day chart of yesterday, we made 26.45% intraday because we started somewhere at like $14.33, and I have some viewers that actually picked up Virgin Galactic at 14. So congratulations out there. I think, this was a huge opportunity. And in just a week, we will know more if we fly or not. Now, I want to stress out something that is very, very important, guys, okay? And this is the following. When a company doesn't have debt, it's very hard to go bankrupt, all right? And guess what? Virgin Galactic doesn't have debt. So here is one of the best investors of all time, Peter Lynch, talking about the falling stock and debt and how he just kept on investing, and then the company got, sold, for many, many multiples of his investment. And he was thinking, how much lower can we go?
Excuse me. There's a lot of times people buy on the basis the stock has gone down this much. How much further can it go down? I remember when Polaroid went from 130 to 100. People said, here's this great company, great record. If it ever gets below 100, just buy every share, And it did get below 100. A lot of people bought on that basis saying, look, it's gone from 135 to 100. It's now 95, what a buy. Within a year, it was 18. And this is a company with no debt. I mean, this is a company, it was just so overpriced, it went down. I did the same thing in my, I think my first or second year at Fidelity. Kaiser Industries had gone from $26 a share to 16. I said, how much lower can it go? It's 16. So I think we bought one of the biggest blocks ever on the American Stock Exchange of Kaiser Industries at 14. I said, it's gone from 26 to 16. How much lower can it go? Well, at 10, I called my mother and said, Mom, you got to look at this Kaiser Industries. I mean, how much lower can it go? It's gone from 26 to 10. Well, it went to 6, it went to 5, it went to 4, it went to 3. And now, I am fortunate this happened rapidly, or I would probably be still caddying or working at the Stop and Shop, but it happened fast. So I was able to, it was compressed. And at 3, I figured out, there's something very wrong here, because Kaiser Industries owns 40% of Kaiser Steel, they own 40% of Kaiser Aluminum, they own 32% of Kaiser Cement, they own Kaiser Broadcasting, they own Kaiser Sand and Gravel, Kaiser Engineers, they own Jeep, they own business after business, and they had no debt. Now, I learned this very early. This might be a breakthrough for some people. It's very hard to go bankrupt if you don't have any debt. It's tricky. Some people can approach that. It's a real achievement. But they had no debt, and the whole company at 3 was selling at about $75 million. At that point, it was equal to buying one Boeing 747. I said, there's something wrong with this company selling for $75 million. I was a little premature at 16, but I said, everything's fine, and eventually this will work out. And what they did is they gave away all their shares to their shareholders. They passed out shares in Kaiser Cement, they passed out shares in Kaiser Aluminum, they passed out their public shares in Kaiser Steel, they sold all the other businesses, and you get about $50 a share. But if you didn't understand the company, if you were just buying on the fact the stock had gone from 26 to 16, and then it went to 10, what would you do when it went to 9? What would you do when it went to 8? What would you do when it went to 7? This is the problem that people have, is they sell stocks because they didn't know why they bought it, then it went down, and they don't know what to do now. Do you flip a coin? Do you walk around the block? What do you do? Psychiatrists haven't worked so far. I've never seen them running in. The psychological psychiatry fund I've never seen listed for with the SEC to make it through as a mutual fund. So they haven't seemed to help. I've tried prayer. That hasn't worked. So if you don't understand the company, you have this problem when they go down. Eventually, they always come back. This one doesn't work either. People think RCA just about got back to its 1929 high when General Electric took it over. A lot of double knits never came back. Remember those beauties? Floppy disks, Western Union. The list goes on and on. People saying it'll come back. Well, it doesn't have to come back. Here's another one you hear all the time. It's $3. How much can I lose? I've had people call me up saying, I'm thinking of buying this stock at 3. How much can I lose? Well, again, you may need a piece of paper for this, but if you put if you put $20,000 in a stock at 50, or your neighbor put $20,000 at 50 into the stock, and you put $20,000 in at 3, and it goes to 0, you lose exactly the same amount of money, everything. If people say it's 3, how much can I lose? Well, if you put $1 million on it, you can lose $1 million. Just the fact that stock, this may be a reason to research a stock. The fact that stock is 3 down from 100 doesn't mean you should buy it. And in fact, short sellers, people that really make money in stocks, they don't short Walmart, they don't short Home Depot, they don't short the great companies, Johnson & Johnson. They short stocks down from 80 to 7. They'd like to short it at 16 or 22, but they figured out at 7 that this company is going to go to 0. They just haven't blown taps on this thing yet. It's going to 0. And they're selling it short at 7, they're selling it short at 6, at 5, at 4, at 3, at 2, at 1 1/4. And you know to sell something short, you need a buyer. Somebody has to buy the damn thing. And you wonder, who's buying this thing? It's these people saying it's 3. How much lower can it go? You know,
So as you can see, I love this kind of wisdoms all around and all the way, because this is something that we can use. Okay, now from the situation of the balance sheet, I can really tell you guys that many people out there don't even look once in the balance sheet. And this is wrong, guys. If you're putting money into a company, it's not a lottery ticket. It shouldn't be gamble. You should at least do the minimum, right? Think about the industry, the product, the team, the balance sheet, okay? And the balance sheet of Virgin Galactic says the following, or the financials in broader way. They are losing about $60 million per quarter, and they have more than $600 million cash in the bank. So this means they can go on for 10 quarters. 10 quarters is 2.5 years. And guys, whatever, happens, they can go, let's say they will go like on for that for another year and say, we need 1 more year to finish the product, and then we will start directly with, 3 spaceships operation, okay? This would be insane and would most probably drop the stock, to further levels, let's say 10, 5, I don't know, okay? But then they would make a U-turn and start operation, and the stock would be directly at 30, 40, 50, and you have this huge opportunity. But what I wanted to say is they have time. So if you say, oh, they will not make it, or they will need more money also, it's not the case. They have no debt, and they can just act for that for a very long time, okay? And once this is over, let's say once they proved it again and they are ready for commercial operations after the Sir Richard Branson flight, I think that the stock price will be that high that they can raise again money to finance the next 2.5 years or 3 years, okay? So I'm not concerned at all. And this is exactly the long-term investor mindset that you need to bring to a lot of these investments. Is it a high risk, high reward investment? Absolutely, no question about it. Is it, very, very interesting because it's an industry where they just, 3 companies out there, SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Virgin Galactic, that offers this product and this experience? Yes, absolutely. I mean, I want to be by myself a space tourist, and I think there's millions of other people that want to do it. And there's just 3 companies that barely do their test flights, okay? SpaceX is sending astronauts up, but not private people. Virgin Galactic is so close to commercial operation this year. Then you have Blue Origin that's sending first person as a test or part of a test in this summer. So a lot of things is happening this year. I think this year is the year of the space tourist, guys. And I love to be part of it, and this will just bring more people to this industry. More people want to invest and be part of that because it's growing like crazy, okay? Now, Katie Wood, on the other hand, said in one interview that she don't think that the industry of space tourism is big, and I agree, okay? I mean, the industry for mining asteroids, going to Mars, transportation to Mars, ISS is much bigger. And that's why I'm super interested also what Virgin Galactic does on this front. And they just announced, it's interesting to train all the Italian Air Force because they will get $500,000-$600,000 per seat for this flight. So there's many other options that we can, monetize, and it will be super, super interesting. I can't wait. And, it's just a matter of time that this company will fly, not only with the spaceship, but hopefully also with their, with their stock price. So this is what I'm doing. I'm loading up on these levels as soon as I can. And I'm sharing this obviously in my Discord. If you want to check out the Discord, check out the links into the description. And I see you obviously later at the live stream today. So take care and see you later.